Hello and welcome to Unka Bean's Games Lab. I'm Unka Bean and you are in the lab. Today we are looking at episode number 7 of Oxygen Not Included. This is a colony simulation game by Cly, an excellent little game, very addictive and a lot of fun. There's a lot of project management to do. These are things that you've probably been noticing if you've been watching the series. I've been slowly building up food, power. I've been taking care of their bathroom needs, I've been taking care of their sleeping needs, and we're starting to work on decor and food. Now, last episode I accidentally said it was episode 5, I apologize for that, but we are now on episode 7. And we're going to see where it goes, but I'm hoping to start on the lavatories today and actually build up a decent lavatory for our dupes. Now, one thing I have noticed that I have not done is I have left all my doors closed. And that is rather silly because you don't need them closed. You leave them open, they're faster to run through. The duplicants have to stop, the door opens, they have to run through. This saves just a quarter of a second every time and adds up. So we're going to open those before I get a comment. Since not a lot of people know about me, I'm not sure if this will even ever reach anybody, but we'll find out. Okay, we're going to uproot that meal root so we've got some more food for later. We've got a little hatchling hanging out down here. He's happy and he'll poop out coal, which is always nice for our generators. I see now that those were empty. They loaded the generator back up. Okay, so that is basically where we were at last episode. Let's start the new episode and see where we end up. First off, our little guys, it looks like they're going on break. We are starting on cycle 19, so we will be ending on cycle 23 today. I accidentally ended the last one a cycle early, thinking I had gone late. I don't know what I was thinking. I was sniffing scope or something like that. Oh well, it happens. Alright, let's see where we are at. Art is doing his thing, that's just fine. Looks like Sally's gaining a level in sleeping there. Maybe that's something that happens after you unpause the game. Let's see. Oh, she's grimy. That's fine. Maybe we will put in a shower just to keep them happy on their downtime. They've got to have something to do, right? Okay, let's see. I know our morale is good. We can see how they're doing on the job board right now. If you want, take a look at that. Oh, it looks like Sally might be ready to move up to minor. We'll find out. Well, she has the morale. This will unassign her from apprentice miner, but will allow her to do better digging jobs. And she's got mastery of the miner job, so we will stick her right there as a better miner. While she was an apprentice miner, now she's a miner. Soon she'll become a seasoned miner and be able to mine anything in the game that we can run into. Now, one of the things I would like to get soon is a gopher, just for supplying things. An architect for building, a groundskeeper for tidying. These are all things that are pretty important. I don't do a lot of tidying until I get a groundskeeper. This stuff isn't causing any damage by sitting there. It's not blocking pathways. It just sits there and it just looks funny until you get to it. So in a way, it's its own storage because you don't have to worry about that rotting. Okay, as you can see, our little pit is not doing much because it takes a long time to fill that area up. It's going to fill up a lot quicker once we get the bathrooms, though, because they output more water than they take in. This actually works to an advantage, because you can get a nearly self-sustaining bathroom that you only have to empty once in a while. It looks like everybody's starting to come back on their shift. Okay, so priority on this. Let's set that to 7, so our new duplicant has a place to sleep that looks nice. And let's choose a new duplicant today. We're at 30,000 kilocalories, so I think we can afford to have a new one. Now let's take a look at what we got. We've got Camille, who's got quite a few benefits. I like that. Operate, she's got athletics. Or it's operate strength. Tidy is strength, operate is athletics. So that's a good one. A little squeamish, so she can't care for people, but that's fine. But she's germ resistant, and that's always good. That gives her an extra immunity to regen of plus 8% per cycle. I like that. Well, this guy's got good cooking and good digging, but we've already got a really good cook and a really good digger. +3 ranching. We're not going to be ranching for a little while, so we're not worried about that yet. Plus, he's a loud sleeper, which means you have to put him off from the other people, or he will keep them awake all night and stress them out. We don't want that. Now let's see what we got here. We got creativity, kindness, and tinkering. Well, I say it's a no-brainer. Camille, what are we going to name you? Let's see, we've got Ellie Mae and Sally for the ladies. Let's go with Michelle My Belle. Oh God, I'm dating myself. This is why I'm known as Unka Bean and not just Bean. I probably am old enough to be most people's uncle. So we're going to print Michelle. She's already got a little bed, so we're fine there. And soon she'll have a little decor above it to make herself a little happier. Alright, Michelle, are we going to assign you to a job? What would you love to do? An engineer or a gopher? We need a gopher. We need someone to run around and supply for now. I realize you'd be a better engineer. But for now, the gopher is more important. Everybody can work on building together. That way, everybody gains a little bit of building skill as you go. Okay, it's going to take him a little while to open those doors because I've just left the priority on 5. But you saw as he was running through, it just takes a second to open the door. So it's not like it's a really big deal. It'll happen when it happens. Okay, and Michelle is off and running, doing her little supply job, introducing herself to everybody. That's good. They're all your friends. You're stuck here. You're either going to die or survive. We're going to find out which. I'm really hoping you survive. I'm kind of a soft-hearted sucker that way. I play the God games. I always play the good God. I'm not a very destructive, evil person by nature. I try to keep things organized and going. Ellie Mae is running right up for that food. Good girl, Ellie Mae. And because of her farming skills, she harvests a lot faster than the other duplicants do. Looks like more lice loaf is going down. And more meal lice is growing. And how is our Bristle Blossom doing? So far, so good. 22 degrees, which is an excellent range for it. I believe it goes up to 30 degrees as well. Bristle Blossom. Requirements. Why are you closed? I must have clicked on that. Air pressure is fine. Atmosphere is fine. Temperature does go up to 30 degrees, which is nice. And it needs light. And it takes 6 cycles to grow. And irrigation, it requires water. But they can run up and water that in their own time. Sorry, that. I could put a vent above it, which would actually water them. That does work as well. Or you can use the hydroponic farm later, which you pipe the water directly into it. And then you never have to worry about water, and you just have to worry about harvesting, which comes in very handy. Okay, it looks like our carbon is starting to build a little bit. I might want to consider getting my carbon deoxidizer built soon. Or my carbon skimmer. We're going to put it down in this area. Like I said, I've been debating whether I want to use this as a carbon flow or whether I want to drop this down. Well, I think we might answer that today, and I might just drop it down. That might be the better idea. Okay, this food box should be empty. Contents none. We're going to deconstruct that. That's no big rush on that, though. Okay, we've got some art coming in for Michelle My Belle. Next, we're going to do the art up here and put that one up to 6. That way they'll get the priority built there. Now let's see, are these just unassigned? Do they feel better if they have cots? That's assigned for Sally, Dr. Jones, Art, and Ellie Mae. That's assigned to Chef Layla. So that means we can assign this one to Michelle. And everybody has a bed and they are happy. Well, happier than they were. Let's see how our decor status is picking up. It's looking a little better. I expected more decor out of that. This might be pushing off some negative decor. Yeah, well, we're not worried about it. We will increase the decor bit by bit. I believe statues may add a bit better decor. So I'm thinking maybe I'll add a statue or two as well. Now our main focus has been working on getting the food going. We've got the food. We're up to 36,000 calories. We'll see if that holds. As long as it holds, we're going to be okay. We're going to start working on some Bristle Blossom farms. We are going to need to hit an ice biome to cool them off. And this isn't a lot of carbon, but I don't want to break into it until I've got the room for it. I don't want to push this carbon pit back up into the bathroom quite yet. So yes, I think it's time. I think what we're going to do is exactly what I said I was going to do. We are going to dump this down. Let's see, what would be the easiest way to get in there? Okay, we're going to need that for the carbon skimmer anyway. That'll allow us to jump across. They only need a 2-scale area to get up. There we go. There we go. I see Dr. Jones bring down some food. That must mean he is out of research. Dr. Jones, where are you and what are you doing? Alright, so let's see. Automatic control. We're not worried about yet. We've got Bruce Porous Refinement, and we also have the electrolyzer. Now that converts water into oxygen and hydrogen, but we don't want to do that until we've got a hydrogen generator, which comes up a little bit later. Because when you're producing all that hydrogen, you need to do something with it. And we'll show you a great way to utilize it. Okay, so for now I think we're going to go Brute Force Refinement. That way we will get our rock granulator, which will allow us to turn rock into sand, sandstone into sand, eggs into lime, iron into refined iron, things like that, and the kiln, which will allow us to produce ceramics. Okay, and it says they will not produce things unless the recipes are queued up, and that makes sense. They're not going to do things automatically unless you tell them to do it. If you set up 4 or 5, they will do 4 or 5 in a row, according to priority. Okay, let's see. We've got this set up. Excellent. Art will take care of this soon on his next break. We're keeping the food growing steady. We might even be able to afford another duplicant at this rate. We'll see how things go. Layla's pumping out the food. And we are digging away. This is good. Let's see. There we go. That should be enough to hold that water. I'm hoping. The reason I did not dig under this sand is as soon as you dig under sand, it drops and all this water would start pouring out. If I hadn't dug this yet, it would all pour up, out, and down over here, which we don't want. We want to keep this as organized as possible. This should be safe. Generally, one layer is safe to hold for a while, so let's see how this goes. Okay, we want this. There we go, like that. I might even be able to fit my bathroom up here, which would work really nice. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. They wouldn't be running into the carbon because you'll be surprised how fast the carbon skimmer gets rid of all this carbon. It will be gone within a few cycles. Okay, so now this is where the last episode would have ended. Cycle 20, so we would have had our food done. Would have had our decor going up. Now that we've got a bit of decor, no, let's take care of this first. Let's see, we can go like this. We can do this. Sculpting block, and let's see, granite. Do we have granite? Yes, we do. So let's start with one over here where it looks like they have really low decor. And one over here. That way it'll cover these two. So when we get our new duplicant, they'll already have some nice morale coming in and decor to sleep with. And I set 3 duplicants for the same shift. What a silly boy I am. I am not thinking at all. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to move Michelle Maybell down to schedule 3. So we have 2 people working on the bathrooms at a time. We have 2 people doing everything at a time. This adds another worker to the 3rd shift, which is our research shift. So we will no longer have Dr. Jones alone and boring. Because he just stands there, nothing gets built. A lot of research gets done because he's pretty smart. But that does slow things down. Now that we've got our 5th worker and supplier, things are going to start speeding up a fair amount, I think. And the food is still rising up to 38,000 kilocalories, so I'm thinking we may even be able to bring in one more. I'm thinking that's going to be another duplicate right there. Yeah, you can breathe some oxygen there, Sally. You're good. There's some oxygen in that water, nice and clean. And it's soon going to be full of carbon because it's all going to drop. I think I want to dig that out too. Give it a little more dropping area. Alright, Sally's off deconstructing. Layla's going to work. I guess she is caught up on Bristle Blossom food. 37,000 kilocalories. We're doing alright. This won't take long for these guys to build. As you can see, it's holding steady. It's not cracking or anything. It's not dropping down yet. So we should have time to build this out. And I'm going to build it out and up a little bit. Now let's see what we're finding down here. See, we've got more polluted oxygen. That seems to be everywhere. Lots of hydrogen. We're going to be running into more of that. We've got these 2 little computer desks down here. And in here we've got oxygen, which is fine. And in here we got chlorine. We don't want to let that out. Ooh, a bomb lily. You get those for making fabrics later on in the game. Ooh, up here we've got a poofed and a thimble reed. And a dust cap. These guys need carbon to grow. We will be building a special area in our little carbon area down here. Whoops, going down too far. We are going to be building a little carbon area down here for dust cap mushrooms later on. So that's going to be another food we're going to be eating for our little duplicates. Excellent. Okay, we've got this going. Let's get this going a little farther. I'm not going to be hitting into anything serious there, and that'll give us room to dig up. I also want to take this down a level, which means I'm going to have to add one more tile right there. This will definitely give us enough room. There we go, we'll get that done right away. That should be room for our carbon skimmer. And before this gets too deep, we're going to do some alterations. We're going to go into, whoops, we want to go into plumbing. We don't want to have them digging too deep in the water until they have to. Now this is going to be our little liquid pipe, so we're going to want this to come up and out. And we are going to need a little ladder for them to get down and build it because it's just too far down. Okay, the other thing we're going to need is some power. So we're going to trace right along those lines. Right up there. Right up there. And into the wall because I kind of like to do that. I'm trying to keep this up a little higher. Which is why I'm doing this. Okay, that should work out perfectly. Our pump will pump water up out to here for our carbon skimmer, which is going to go in here. Now that we're thinking of that, we're going to set that right there. Pop in the wire. Now the carbon will stay below this level. Any carbon that drops, some will drop down here, some will get sucked up by the carbon skimmer, and it will get taken care of, but the carbon level will basically stay down at this level. Now we can always remove this and build it again later. That's not a problem. Now because I want to get this fast, the duplicants do not like to go in the water, so we are going to set that up, and I don't blame them because it's cold in there. I may need a med bed after this, so I'm just going to set one up really quick. We find those under medicine. One of them might catch hypothermia from being in the water too long. So we are going to throw this together. We will worry about making it better later. And a quick medicine room is built. Okay, so now we need to set up the pipes going into and out of the carbon skimmer. Now the carbon skimmer takes in water and carbon dioxide, converts it to oxygen and polluted water. There we go. So we're just going to drag our pipe down there, and we're going to put in a liquid vent. This is what allows the water to just drip straight down. And that will also fill our pit. And soon we're going to be adding polluted water through our lovely little lavatory. Now this is on the way to building the lavatory, so it's not like I'm trying to avoid building that yet. It will be a proper one when it's done. I just need to get things set up. Okay, we've got the pipes and wiring coming in, which is always good. Still a little bit of oxygen down here, which is currently seeping its way up here bit by bit. She's mostly breathing carbon, but there's enough oxygen so you can get some air out of it. She is doing her supply job and supplying all the ladders, so we're doing good there. We've got our pipe quickly set up. And that reminds me, we have our deodorizers now. So I will set those up as soon as this is done. Like I said, we don't want to build too much too fast, otherwise we get the problem we had in episode 3 where we had to wait for everything to build forever. So now let's take a quick look on everything else. The Bristle Blossom is growing nicely. All our mealwood plants are doing okay. Batteries have lots of charge. Let's see if that helped our decor out. Oh, the statue did much better for decor. I'm thinking that's a good idea. Alright, so we're going to add statues and paintings. I think that is going to be a great idea. I see Dr. Jones is not doing his research, which is fine by me. I know you're cold. That's why I'm building a med bed up there. And I know you can get out of there, so I think you're just catching your breath. I think you're holding your breath. You're not breathing, Dr. Jones. I'm sending you out of there. What is now unreachable? 1, 2, they should be able to hop over that. Why is that unreachable? I don't want to lose Dr. Jones, so we are going to do this. Oh, now you can get up the ladder. Are you on crack, Dr. Jones? Told me that was unreachable. You are a bad man, Dr. Jones. We're going to cancel that build. We don't need that there. Had me worried I was going to lose you, my main researcher. Alright, people are sleeping, people are working. This is a good thing. Now, let's see. We could focus on our next research task. Keep Dr. Jones out of there since he's obviously not on the best behavior right now. Let's look into the next tier of research. For agriculture, we have a refrigerator which will help keep our food better. The hydroponic farm, which will definitely be of good use. A fertilizer synthesizer, which we can use for our polluted water. Does produce natural gas, so that is kind of a bad thing about it. And we have the farm station, which produces a micronutrient fertilizer to increase plant growth rates. Interesting. Let's see, and then we've got ranching. Well, we're not ready to start ranching yet. Fossil fuels, a natural gas generator. You see, now this might be coming in handy. An oil refinery, and a petroleum generator. Now we have advanced power regulation. Here we have the hydrogen generator, the power control station, the small power transformer, the heavy watt joint plate, and heavy watt wire. This will hold more wattage than your regular wire, but you cannot put it in walls. You can put it through walls, but you can't put it in the floors like you do the regular wire. And it has a really bad negative decor, so you only want to use it when necessary. Okay, next we have the sensors, the clock sensor, gas sensor, weight plate, and a smart battery. Refined objects, we have the fire pole. I think that actually might be where I want to go. And we have a temp chip plate. Let's see, next we have the apothecary and germ sensor. We're not too worried about this yet, but we are going to be soon, because we are going to be digging into that slime-lungy algae. Or slime, I should say. Okay, next is improved plumbing, which gives the hydro sensor, the reservoir, the liquid shutoff, and the insulated liquid pipe, which allows you to keep liquids hot or cool in the pipe. Or we have temperature modulation, which goes to the insulated tiles, the hydro fan for cooling off areas, or the heater for heating up areas, obviously. And then we have more gas work. We have the gas shutoff, we have a high pressure gas vent, an insulated gas pipe, and an Elmo sensor. And finally, self-expression, we have the textile loom for clothing, and a jute box for listening to. Now, but as I was saying, I think it's time to bring the fire pole into play. So we will get Dr. Jones working on that. This will get our little duplicates flying down the base. Well, moving a lot faster than they do up the ladder anyway. Okay, Dr. Jones, you can go do your research now. I see you gasping for air again. We are almost done with this, which is good. Because as soon as we are, I'm setting the priority on here much higher. Yes, I know, you can only hold your breath so long and it's cold. How cold is it? 23 degrees. That's not that bad. Make it seem like it's minus 20 or something. And they are getting a bad little soaked debuff, which stresses them out a little bit for a little while, but they'll be fine. We'll check their stress levels after everything is done and see if they need a massage table. I am not above taking good care of my duplicants. Okay, we've got the research going, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's see how these guys are doing. 6 and 2, so they're going to have to take care of those soon. Yeah, not too bad on the germs. We can't complain. Yeah, you can see all the germs in the slime. Sometimes it's just crazy. Looks like we got some slime here that has 0 surface germs on it. Everything is looking rather nice. I think while I'm at this, I'm going to have them dig that out a little bit as well. Just to give a little more room. No, not one, just one. Because for 2, they need a ladder. There we go. Now they'll dig this out as well. That's going to have to be done by our miner. And I see everybody is running and anxious. There goes our miner digging it out a little bit. It's going to give us a little more room for water. I'm hoping they can reach that pipe. If not, I'm going to have to build another ladder in here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the highest they can reach. I have to build another ladder. That's funny. Alright, there you go, guys. I've got the sub-priority set on that to 9. Set that to 9. Yeah, we'll leave that running. I think maybe we'll set the sub-priority up on those pipes as well. That way they'll get those pipes built nice and quick, so as soon as we get the liquid running, we'll get this little guy working right here. That'll give us our liquid intake and our liquid outtake. Now, one thing about this, they're always the same. The liquid intake is always white. The liquid outtake is always that greenish color. I'm partially colorblind, so it looks kind of greenish to me. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me on that eventually. Somebody's going to find this and leave a comment and tell me what they think. Okay. One of the things they're probably going to tell me is I'm building this up way too early. I really don't need it yet. I just want to get it going because I'm going to be building the bathroom and a few other things in this area. So I'd like it to be all leveled out. And the first thing we have to do is build our pump, drop the water, and then we can work on the bathroom. Alrighty, so far so good. Okay, so we are almost at cycle 23. I apologize we did not get to the bathroom today. We did, however, get the means to get towards the bathroom, so it looks like next episode we will have the bathroom. Looks like these guys are a little more, oh, let's get this done. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do some stuff there too. I can do that with a base tile and a dig. There we go. I want to tile that in anyway, but I'm leaving that at a really low priority. We are going to set this one to 9, however, so they can get that vent done quicker. Oh, he can get it from there. Excellent. Okay, well, no worries. Get that done when you get it done. I did not realize they could build the vent through the wall. I was not thinking because there's that hole there, they can go diagonally through. And that makes it perfect. Okay, as we can see, the carbon is starting to fill up in here as well. That's no big deal. Once we start the carbon skimmer, it'll all push its way out. Don't need to worry about carbon on top of your polluted water. It's not going to hurt anything. I don't want the sandstone. I want the water. That's a lot of food poisoning germs. Although I have heard of ways to clean it, so we will look into that as well in the next couple episodes. I don't know what's going on with Ellie Mae. I think she's sniffing scope over there. I should look for oxygen. Okay. Wasn't sure where to go. Alright, one little piece of wire left and our carbon skimmer will be working. Then we will never have to worry about carbon again. And then we're going to drop the lake. And we're going to see if we can get any of that done before cycle 23. We're going to do that. We're going to deconstruct that. And I see water pumping. There you go. You can see water starting to flow through the pipes. The liquid pump is working and doing its job. It'll hit the carbon, start skimming the carbon, it'll hit the carbon skimmer, start skimming the water and producing polluted water, which it'll start dropping down and spraying out this vent. Yeah, set up right. We're good. And that will slowly build this up, which we will be using later. Okay, so now that we've got that built, I said I wanted to get my med bay built just in case something was happening. And let's take a quick look at what a med bay requires. Med bay requires a medical bed, a toilet, a mess table, no industrial machinery. Okay, so we're going to set this up real quick. There we go. We're going to cancel that. Cancel that. Okay, it says it needs a sink, so we're going to have to worry about that in a bit for a med bay, I guess. Let's take a look at our vitals and see how everybody's doing. Health is at 100 out of 100, so nobody got sick out of that. Their immune systems are all at 100%, so I'm not going to worry about the med bay yet. We'll build that later. We are getting close to the end of cycle 23, so I'm thinking we're just going to let these little guys finish off what they're doing, working on things here. And then we're going to call it an episode. We've got everything going very well. We're about to drop this water. Need to deconstruct this and this so they've got places for the water to drop. What I'm going to do is drop that and let the water slowly flow out here, flow over this side and over this side. Okay, our little hatchlings hiding out there in the liquid germs, that's fine. I'd prefer you were up here where you could poop coal for me. And we have just hit cycle 23, so this is Unka Bean from Unka Bean's Games Lab signing off. That's going to show you we're at 40,000 kilocalories for food. We've got a nice mess hall. We've brought in our new duplicate, Michelle My Belle. And we have got a full outhouse, which I'm sure they will be taking care of next episode. Our carbon skimmer is skimming out all that carbon. And as soon as we set a sub priority of 9 on that, we're going to pause it. And we will be back in the next episode. Unka Bean from Unka Bean's Games Lab signing off. Unka Bean's Games Lab signing off. And we will see you later.